She's a fashionista from head to toe, and her story is one to prove it is never too late to start your life over.
I love these kinds of stories. And now her life is anything but orthodox.
My name is Julia Haart. I am the CEO of Elite World Group, the largest conglomerate of modeling agencies in the world. I'm sure you've heard the rumors about me and Sylvia.
Yes.
We are getting a divorce.
Better business partner?
Exactly. We're amazing business partners. It doesn't impact the business at all.
We're building things together.
Exactly.
And we'll continue to build.
Exactly. Sylvia fired me. It's in the press already.
Holy smokes. Yeah, it has been 10 years since Julia Haart left the only life she knew in the Orthodox community, and since then, she has become a businesswoman, designer, best-selling author, and advocate.
That's a whole lot for 10 years.
That's right. Good for us. She's joining us on the couch to talk about her recent advocacy work. Julia, welcome back to New York Living.
Thank you. It's so lovely to be back.
It's so fabulous to have you here.
Thank
Your
you.
story is so inspiring.
Thank you so much.
You are just positive energy, good vibes. Right
Thank
now,
you.
we've been chit-chatting in the commercial
Yeah.
break. You've lived a life.
Yeah,
You've
indeed. It's been an interesting
the
journey
roller
so
coaster
far,
of
let me tell you.
everything. But we want to talk
Yes.
first about your trip that you
Sure.
just got back from
Oh, my goodness.
overseas. I mean,
Yeah.
you were in the Ukraine.
Yeah. So this is actually the second time I went to Ukraine this year. The first time I went at the end of December through the beginning of January. And I drove ambulances with a group of people
Oh, my gosh.
from Slovakia all the way to the front lines in Bakhmut
Oh, my
when it was
gosh.
being literally bombed. And we delivered ambulances and medical supplies, IFAX kits, individual first aid kits. And we came there to really provide support and to let people know that they're not alone. This time when I went back to Ukraine, I went to really bring awareness, because the more I ask people in Ukraine how I can help, what I can do, it's tell our story, Julia. Let people know, because we are assaulted constantly. We're such a vast, so many images and information that sometimes things get lost. And
Yes.
it's like, oh, Ukraine again?
Right.
But what's going on there is mind-blowing.
Yeah.
When I was there, we met some most incredible people. We spoke to organizations that are truly doing work that will save lives. For example, there's this incredible company called Halo. So what ends up happening when Russians retreat, when Ukrainians get back land, right? The Russians don't just leave. They leave landmines behind.
Sure, that's the aftermath. That's classic aftermath of
Yeah.
the literal
Yes.
But
casualties
here's
of
where
war,
it gets really shocking. They specifically place them in children's playgrounds, schoolyards, and agricultural areas.
Wow.
So, Ukraine was the breadbasket of the world. It was
Right.
considered the breadbasket of the world. It feels countries in Africa, countries in Asia,
Sure.
and a lot of Europe. And now their production is down over 30%
Right.
because so much of their land is unusable.
Right. So you go there and you see all of this, and what effect does that have on you?
Well, I think I don't take freedom for granted.
Sure.
And what I've learned is that the best way to deal with trauma and difficulty is to look around you and see the trauma and difficulty as so much greater than yours. And that's really what it felt like, because I gave up my family, everything I knew, my community, for freedom.
Yeah.
They're giving up their
Lives, right.
They're dying
Right.
for freedom. Like, I met these people, soldiers, in this place called Superhumans, which is this incredible, I guess, hospital. I'm not sure exactly what you would call it, where they create bionic limbs.
Oh, wow.
And I speak to these soldiers, and some of them are missing both arms or both legs.
Right.
And they're working so hard to, walk and be mobile
Right.
and utilize their bionic limbs. And when I said to someone, oh, it must be because, you want to go home and have a life, he's like, no, are you kidding me? I'm going back. I'm
Wow.
going back to the front lines. I'm not going to stop fighting.
Right.
Just extraordinary. They're the freedom fighters of our time.
If nothing else,
Why
that
not?
puts it in perspective
Sure does.
for us who
Yeah.
are hearing
Sure
this
does.
secondhand through you.
And then in Rwanda,
Oh, yes.
oh my
Yeah.
God, I mean,
So clearly you have been really leaning into the philanthropy side of
Yeah.
your brain. And you were going to ask her about...
Your time in Rwanda.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you went with the Body Agency.
yes, I went with the Body Agency Collective, which is Kate Roberts, who's just an extraordinary human being. And we had Deborah Messing with us, and we had I'm going to say a name right, Harvey Grant. I am abysmal with names. They are literally the bane of my existence.
No.
And, we met with programs like Pilot Light, which is so cool. What they do is basically they create female cooperatives, and women they give in like seed funding, and then women support one another, and they buy. And when I say seed funding, I'm not talking about $50,000.
Sure.
I'm talking sometimes about 50 cents.
Wow.
50 cents buys a chicken. A chicken lays eggs, which pays
For
when
them
you
to
sell
get,
it
right.
to buy more chickens, and more chickens equals land, and then land equals property. And then what they end up doing is that they help one another and they support one another. So if a woman has many chickens, she will give one to someone else to start her business. And when you think about the fact that 65% of the world's untouched arable land is in Africa, and that 70% of the small farmers are women, although they only own 20% of the land, you realize how much passion and courage and determination these women have, and to watch them refuse to be silenced, refuse to be marginalized, to literally support one another. It was just such an extraordinary experience.
It almost
blew my
sounds like
mind.
you're talking a mirror image, excuse me, of yourself, because you went through so much with your own determination and your own resilience, and being in your own industry. So as you reflect back, what did you make of all of that as you continue to establish yourself as a businesswoman?
I love that question. Honestly, what I saw is that humanity is beautiful. I am a glass half full person, and I look at these women who really come from nothing, who have been put down their entire lives and told that they don't matter and that their only purpose in life is to have babies, as you said, very similar. And they don't give up. They're so determined. They're so extraordinary. And what the Body Agency Collective does is we provide sexual, wellness and menstrual cups, because you don't. I remember the
We
first,
take it for granted
we
here,
take it
but
for
it's
granted.
but it is a
They
But
have
what if
nothing and they
have-
know nothing.
Yeah, and what if you're menstruating and you're 15 years old and you have nothing with which to keep it
Right.
in place? You can't go to school. As a woman, you can't go to work. So these young women are literally missing out half of their school year when they menstruate.
Right.
So to give them cups, explain how it's done, it was such an empowering experience. And what I loved so much is when we were presenting them and giving them out, what they wanted to know is, can we get into business with you?
Look at
Oh my
that.
gosh.
You know what? And my
Yeah.
mind was just like, oh my God, I'm so in
Speaking
love
of
with
getting
this
into
woman.
business.
Speaking of getting into business and empowering, just in a little
Yes.
bit of a different way, we were chatting in the commercial
Yes,
break about your
indeed.
gorgeous outfit. You
Thank
launched
you.
your own shapewear company
Yes.
called Body by
Body.
Julia Haart.
That's
Yep.
right.
Tell us all about it. I mean, it's gorgeous.
Thank
it's very
you.
different
Yeah.
from
Yes.
what's out there.
Exactly. So the idea was, everything that I've done, whether it's shoes or La Perla or EWG, it's always been about freedom in one way or another. This is freeing people from the discomfort and, I would say, stigma almost of wearing shapewear.
Thank you.
Because so many women, many of us wear it.
Every
and
day.
yet-
Yeah.
Every day. I'm wearing it right now.
There you go.
And
And
it's
yet-
not fun.
That's it. And do you want to take your clothes off?
I would like to take it off immediately.
Exactly. So the beauty of this is when you get undressed, you're not uncomfortable.
Right.
People were telling me, I asked people, what do you do when you have to get undressed in front of your special someone and
Right.
you're wearing shapewear? You're like, we went to the bathroom,
Yep.
we hide it in the
Oh
drawer,
my
we come back,
gosh.
blah, blah, blah. Wait a minute,
And
this
you've
is crazy.
changed
I've
that.
got to
Changing
change
that whole
that.
thing.
So we changed the way that color is put into clothing, so that, because usually, the reason shapewear is so ugly is because when you dye something and then you stretch it, you know what happens. You get those nasty lines, the pattern gets distorted, the color fades. Here, I don't want to do it because I'm wearing it, but you've seen it. We were
It
playing
looks-
with it.
It is phenomenal. We're going to post
You can
a
stretch
whole
it as far as you can, and
OOTD
it's- yes.
of her outfit on our Instagram so you can see Julia Haart. Thank you
Thank you
for
so
all
much.
of this,
So
and
much. Thank
keep
you.
on doing what you're doing.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys so much.